There you are. Hi. For some reason, we weren't connecting today. All right, who is here? And doesn't it look blurry? Let me see. Let me clean my lens. Okay, a little bit more clear, right? Nope. I see some. Oh, there's a hair there. Okay, perfect. Hi, who is here? So I see a lot of you are here. I'd love to hear from some of you that are here. Let me know who's here. I usually have a certain regulars that show up live, and then many actually show up to watch this recorded. So if you're watching it recorded, good for you. We have to take care of ourselves as we age. We have to keep our body strong. And that is an important part for all of us. So those of you that are here, let me know. Hi, is this your first time with me? And did you reach out to me? Have you commented on some of the YouTube videos? Because that name looks kind of familiar. So is this your first time? And what do you need? So let me know what it is in particular that you need or want. Do you have osteoporosis, osteopenia? Do you practice yoga? Those are things I'd like to know. It definitely helps with catering the practice to those who need it. And first time for you, great. Anything in particular that you're working on? Do you have osteoporosis or osteopenia? And then how did you hear about these live classes? I'd love to know that as well. So I wasn't here last week. Okay, perfect. Is there anything in particular that you should or shouldn't be doing, or anything you have challenges with? I'd like to know that as well. Okay. Yeah, I teach 5 live classes a week. This is one where I actually do not get to see who I am teaching. During the week, though, the other 4 classes, they are live in person. I see over 100 people every week. And that gives me this awareness on what to focus on, what limitations may exist, how to manage the practice around those limitations. And then because I specialize in bone health, everything is about healthy aging and bone health. Okay, great. Well, perfect. Thanks. And thanks for letting me know. Not everybody feels comfortable to do that. All right. Well, we're going to get started. So let's get started. All right. Let's focus on flexibility. And I want to explain why this matters. So yoga, the practice of yoga, when I tell people I teach yoga and people say, oh, I need to do yoga, but I'm not flexible enough or I'm tight. That's what I hear all the time. And then I have to explain, well, yoga doesn't actually require physical flexibility. It requires mental flexibility. So it really is important that we even understand that this matters when it comes to bone health. Let me tell you a couple of reasons why it matters to practice and improve your flexibility. So where the joints are is where 2 bones meet. And the muscles that are attached to the bones, we strengthen the bones and keep the bones strong by the muscles that are on top of our bones, that move our bones, that stabilize our bones. And they attach, and where we can create a lot of force is at the joint aspect. So when 2 bones meet, that's a joint, right? We know we have a hip joint, we have knees, we have a spine, and this is what we look at when it comes to bone health. The more mobile you are in your body, the more movement you have, every time you move, you're pulling on bones. That's creating stimulation. You are moving your muscles, which is communicating with the bones. It's a very intimate relationship, muscle and bone. So it's important that we create space in our joints. So here's one main reason. We need space in the joints where the bones meet, because the more space you have, the less pain you will have. The less pain you will have, the more you will move and do activities. And the more you move, the more ability you have to build stronger muscles and stronger bones. So having space, flexibility gives us that bigger range of motion, we call it, in the joints for movement. The other aspect, and this is what I've learned over the years, I've taught thousands of people yoga, I myself practice all the time, is that if you do slip, trip, stumble, or fall, which is very unavoidable, and many of us do that. If you slip, trip, stumble, or fall, then there's more reactivity. So the muscles that get stretched and moved, you become more communicative in your body. So as you are slipping or tripping, you might actually stop yourself from falling. So one, you could stop or avoid a fall. The other thing is if you are falling, there's this ability that happens where we start to elongate the fall. In it, we're in the present moment. We have that body awareness of what's happening. And then if you elongate the fall, you either may not fall or you might fall better. So I like to say I want to help you be a better faller. I don't want you to fall. And if you are going to fall, I want it to be safer for you so that you don't cause a fracture. I've experienced this in my own body. I have been in the process of falling, and in that moment, I'm super hyper aware of what's happening, and I'm able to correct myself, right myself, or fall better and not fracture anything. And I've heard it over the years from many of the students that I've worked with. So flexibility is a very important component of bone health, maybe not one that we're all thinking about, and we need to. So let me turn on that light. I don't know if my light is on enough in this here. Yeah, that wasn't up enough. Okay. So to practice, make sure you have a strap today. If you don't have a strap, get a towel that you could use, because we're going to do some movements with a strap to stretch our leg muscles and hip area, also glutes, and everything's connected. So we're going to be stretching this part of the body. A blanket and a block. And then if you need a chair or a wall, if balance is an issue, when we do the standing part of the practice, getting a chair can be really helpful. And when we do the standing practice, we're going to get weight bearing in the joints to do deeper stretching. So whenever we're off the ground, we can actually then start to add weight and really get some deep stretching. So gather whatever it is you need to practice, and then let's begin the practice. So get your props. Now, when you bend down, make sure you bend down safely. It's always a good piece of awareness to learn how to move correctly. You want to make sure you don't bend forward and you don't put weight into your knee joint. You want to push your tushy back like you're closing a drawer behind you. Bend down to get your items. Leave the strap and the block off to the side. Go ahead and get your blanket. And then we're going to begin in a seated position. So take the blanket onto the mat, and then we're going to come down onto the mat. So I'd like to begin today's practice seated. If lying down on the ground feels better for you, choose that. And actually, if you are near a wall, it's nice to have the support of a block. So if you are close enough to a wall where you could actually put the block, I'm going to put it right back here behind my heart. So it's going to go behind the heart, and it's going to help to support and keep me upright. So do whatever it is that you'd like to do. You could come all the way down on the ground, or you could find a seated position. In India, oftentimes, most of the time when I go there and we practice yoga, we begin in seated. We stay seated throughout the day, and it gets really hard for our body to stay in the seated position, which is partly why we do all of the physical postures, so that you could sit nice and erect. I'd like you to come into a position. We're going to do the square breath, which is a 4 inhale, a 4 for holding the breath after the inhale, a 4 count to exhale, and then a 4 count to hold the breath out. This will help to strengthen your lungs, your ability to breathe, and to regulate the breath. Because when we regulate respiration, we have an effect on the nervous system, on stress management. Really critical, because stress is one of the biggest bone dissolvers of all. And learning how to manage stress every single day is critical to bone health. So go ahead, find yourself in whatever position feels good for you. If you are seated, bring your elbows underneath your shoulders, not forward of your shoulders. Bring them underneath your shoulders to posturally support your body to sit nice and lengthened. And then begin to close your eyes. If closing your eyes all the way is uncomfortable for you, then you could minimize your gaze. And then I'd like you first, once you close your eyes, to notice what you notice. What senses heighten when you turn off the visual field? Notice if you're able to hear more or to feel more. Notice that. Notice hearing, notice feeling. And then allow your lips to touch, your jaw to be soft. Bring your awareness from the outside to the inside. And just notice where the breath goes when you're breathing. Where in your torso do you feel movement or notice movement? Does the breath stay pretty high, or does the breath go lower towards the lower ribs? Is there any detectable movement in the belly? And just notice your natural breath rhythm. Where is it with your eyes closed? Where do you sense the breath? Notice if it's more on the right side or on the left side, or do you feel it evenly throughout your torso? The lungs move in 6 ranges of motion. And there's 3 areas in each side. There's 2 sides of the lungs. And there's 3 areas in the lobes of the lungs. The lobes are elastic, they're not muscular. The muscular component of breath is the diaphragm, which draws the breath into the body. We're going to do the square pattern breath to deeply bring the breath in, to regulate the breath, and to create a set point of your breath rhythm that is optimal and healthy. So let's first explore the ranges of motion of the breath so that when we do the square breath, we could be the most effective possible. So keep your mouth closed, breathe in and out through your nose. First, breathe to the front of your chest and feel the rise and fall with inhale and exhale. If you're seated, you're moving forward away from your body. If you are in a supine position lying down on the ground, you'll feel your chest moving up towards the sky. So focus first on bringing the breath in and forward into the front part of your chest. And try to breathe as deep as possible to feel as much movement and as much stretch as possible. We're working on stretching the muscles of respiration in the lungs, not in the lung area, the respiration muscles. They line the rib cage, they're in between the ribs. So the muscles of respiration are what helps to create breath. So we're going to work on stretching, increasing the range of motion and the flexibility of these muscles. Breathing forward. Now you're going to follow the breath in your nostrils down into your lungs and breathe back. If you're seated, feel the backward movement behind your heart. If you're seated with a block up against your back at the wall, feel that pressure moving towards the block. And if you're on the ground, feel the pressure of the back of the lungs moving towards the ground. It may take a couple of times for you to direct the breath and to really feel, and with each breath, feel a little bit more pressure back. Breathe in your lungs and back behind your heart. Pick a location with your mind to direct the breath there. Now you're going to bring your awareness to the sides of the rib cage, so stretching the sides of the rib cage. Visualize a water balloon that you place on the ground that starts to get wider as the pressure of the water pushes into the sides of the balloon. Breathe in your nostrils to your lungs and get wider right underneath your armpits at the side of your lungs. Feel that. Breathe deeply. Increase that range of motion in the muscles of respiration in between the ribs and that line the rib cage. You may feel aspects of a release or a stretch in the back area, the back of the ribs. Take one more sideways, to the right, to the left. Now we're going to bring the breath into the lungs and up towards the head. So bringing the breath into the upper lobes of the lungs, feel the upward movement. You might even feel yourself getting a little taller if you're in a seated position. Take an exhale and begin breathing in and up. Breathe as deep as you can to stretch the muscles of respiration deep in your body. Now we're going to breathe in and down to the lowest lobes of the lungs where most oxygen and carbon dioxide exchange take place, where most parasympathetic nervous system response lies, and what is going to be the healthiest way to breathe, diaphragmatic breath. Breathe in your nostrils and down to the lowest lobes of your lungs, all the way down to your belly and all the way down to your seat, the base of your torso, to the pelvic floor. Exhale, breathe in and breathe deep. And breathe big so you actually feel that stretch, starting to work on improving flexibility inside your body. One more like this. Let's work on the square breath. Evening out the breath, breathing as deep as you can into all 6 directional patterns, forward, backward, side to side, and top and bottom. Fully expanding your lungs, regulating your breath. We're going to do a 4 inhale. 4 to fully hold that inhale in. 4 to exhale, and 4 to fully release your breath. Exhaling, releasing, and then 4 to completely hold and retain that exhale out. Working against that strong desire to breathe in again. 4 inhale, 4 hold, 4 exhale, 4 hold. Take a big exhale. Let's begin. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Continue on your own. Do your own counting. 4 for the inhale, 4 for the hold, 4 for the exhale, 4 for the hold. Breathe deep. Expand your lungs as much as possible. Count. Visualize a square as you go through each side. Keep your mind busy with counting, visualizing, and deep breathing. Finish the breath that you're on and take 3 more complete rounds. Slow and steady. When you finish your last breath, give your breath back to your body to breathe itself. Bring your hands together as you rub your hands together strongly so you feel a heat developing in your palms. Create friction and then cover your eyes. Let that heat calm, soothe your eyes. And gently allow your eyes to blink themselves open. And once they're all the way open, bring your hands down. And notice how you feel. If you feel a heaviness, if you feel a sense of relaxation, that's a good thing. Because stress is the biggest bone dissolver of all. And even if we eat the most perfect foods and we do weight bearing or yoga, stress will override all of that and contribute to bone loss every single day. So learning different breathing techniques, taking the time out to go inside and to calm your nervous system, to regulate your respiration, to regulate your cardiovascular system. All of that is super critical for healthy bones, for healthy aging. So learn different breathing techniques and implement them into your life every day. The square breath is a good breath to do, maybe 3 times a day, 5 to 10 times. You can start your morning with it and end the day with square breath. Whatever it is, whatever works for you, practice managing stress because it is critical to happy and healthy aging and strong fracture-resistant bones. All right, let's stretch our body. So if you were in a position with your legs bent, go ahead and straighten your legs. Let the blood and the lymph and all the fluids come back in. So take your legs straight, and then a little bit of movement. So take your hands around the knees, rub up and down your legs, get things to move, get the fluids to go back down. If you do bend forward to go lower on your legs, if you have that range of motion, if you have that flexibility, make sure if you do go down forward, you're bending at your hip joint. You are not bending at your spine. The biggest no-no when you have osteoporosis and osteopenia is to not bend forward in your spine and put pressure on the front of your vertebra. That's where the fractures happen. And half of all the fractures in osteoporosis are in the spine. So we need to make sure we focus on that. So if you are able to go a little lower, keep your throat open, keep your head forward. If you're able to go a little lower on your legs. It's also a good way to kind of notice for yourself, where do you have tightness? Is it in the low back? Is it in the glutes? Is it in the hamstrings? Just noticing for yourself areas that you can start to work on improving your flexibility to have more range of motion, to be able to move your body a little bit more fluidly. So let's come on to all fours. Get our body nice and set. Get the joints to be set. Coming onto all fours. If you have any wrist issues, then get some props or roll up the front part of your mat so that you minimize the flexion in your wrist joint if you have wrist issues. And we need strong hands, need strong wrists. The wrist is the #1 fractured site in women over age 65. So keeping that range of motion in your wrist is important. If you're able to move your body forward, put that extra pressure in the wrist, keep your gaze forward, head active, and then push back into your hips, into your glutes, come forward into the wrists, come back into the hips. Rolling in the shoulder joint and the wrist joint. See what feels appropriate for you here. Gently warming up your joints, releasing fluids, synovial fluid, which is protective. So when we start to pull and push on our muscles and bones, you stay nice and safe. Moving yourself forward and backwards. And then take your hands wide. So now you have the fingers off the mat, the thumbs are on the mat, and take your hands forward. Bring your body forward so that your pelvis comes closer to the floor. Look up with your gaze. That's your inhale when your body is open. And then exhale. Push yourself back. Keep your tushy high in the air. Keep the front of the spine nice and long. Push yourself back to wherever you can go. If your head goes close to the floor or can touch, you could do that. Maybe the first few you're warming up, you might not have that range of motion. You go inhale forward, exhale back. Whatever range of motion you have, close your eyes, spread your fingers. Feel you're starting to stretch the front of the body when you come forward. Stretch the armpit, chest area when you go back, and the spine safely. Inhale forward, exhale back. As you start to bring more fluid into your body, a little bit more range of motion, you may be able to go lower with the pelvis, higher with the head, more back bend in your spine. As you go back, your head may come closer to the ground, it may touch or not. Whatever your range of motion is, it's perfect. Just moving back and forth. Exhale back when you fold at the hip joint. Inhale forward when you open your body. Push the pelvis towards the ground. You'll feel a stretch coming into the belly area. Back and forth with breath. Inhale, starting to warm up the body and getting some stretch here of the muscles of sitting, the rotational muscles, core muscles, stabilizing trunk muscles. These are all muscles important for fall and fracture prevention, for spinal health. One more each direction. And then stay down low. So we're going to stay in this puppy dog to stretch the spine and the chest muscles. If you could put your head on the ground, put your forehead on the ground and push your tushy back, push your torso towards the ground, or you may need to get a block. Place a block onto the ground. Let your forehead rest on the block so you can push
your chest towards the ground, keeping your arms straight, stretching the chest muscles, the shoulder muscles. Those are the upper body postural muscles. So whatever it is for you, getting that stretch into the upper body. Couple of breaths here. Take one more breath. And then bring yourself up.
We're gonna do a little stretching here on the ground to get the trunk to start to stretch. You're gonna feel that stretch, and then really important to bring blood into the body as much as possible, into the muscles, so when we do the bigger stretches, the standing stretches, the weight-bearing stretches, you stay safe in your body. So come forward with your hands, both hands, and walk your hands over to the right. Now your arms are straight, and you're gonna push your pelvis back so that you could lift the hands one at a time off the floor. Your body weight is that far back that you could do that. And then let your head rest on your left arm and push your pelvis to the left. So you push your whole pelvis to the left, you rest your head on the left arm, and you keep your arms straight. Feel that stretch along the left side body. If you want to make it a little deeper, push your heart towards the ground and feel that stretch on the left side. Take one more breath. And then bring yourself forward. Let's take your arms all the way over now to the left. Keep your arms straight. Rest your head on your right arm and push your pelvis to the right. Feel the stretch along the right side of your body, the right side of your rib cage. Deep breaths down to your belly. Keep your mouth closed. Breathe in and out through your nose. Keep the heat that you develop in the practice inside your body. Keep your mouth closed. Inhale and exhale through the nose. Take one more breath. Bring yourself back to neutral. Take a breath here. And then bring yourself all the way up. Noticing that in your body. Let's come to a kneeling position here. In yoga, when we open, when we lengthen, when we move the arms away from us, when we unbend the joints, we typically inhale. And then when we come back to center, we fold our joints, we forward fold our body, or we fold into ourselves, we exhale. So keep your knees wherever you need. If you want to put them closer together, that'll be a little bit more challenge for your hip joint for balance. Or if balance is an issue, you may need to go a little wider with your stance. Choose what's appropriate for you. We're warming up our torso, starting to bring blood and space into the muscles, the joints, the bones. Take your arms pretty low here. As you inhale to open and exhale to close. Inhale to open, exhale, close. Inhale and exhale. Start to go a little higher with your arms if your shoulders will let you. If you have shoulder joint issues where you have limitations, stay lower. If you are able to go higher, start to go higher. You're going to feel more stretch in the chest muscles, in the shoulder muscles. These are very important postural muscles and very important for spinal health and for fall and fracture prevention. Inhale. Look a little higher, maybe all the way up to the wall. As the head starts to move back, you're going to put tension in those posture muscles at the upper back. And on your next one, you're going to come open and stay open. Stay here. Take one more breath. And then go ahead and bring yourself down. If you are okay where you are here, go ahead and continue. You can move on to the next movement. If you need to take a break, take a break. Widen your legs for a little bit to take some pressure off the kneecaps. And then you could come back to legs together or a little bit wider. Let's open up the chest and the shoulders. Take your hands, take your thumb and your fingers on top of your shoulders. Inhale to open up, exhale down. Now imagine you're up against a wall and you're pushing the back of your arms up against the wall to slide up and down the wall. That's going to stretch the under armpit area. This is moving lymph through the body, really important for immune health, for fat movement in the body. So the vitamins that are fat soluble that we need, hormones transport through the lymphatic vessels. A lot of lymph nodes are underneath the armpits. So inhale up, exhale down, inhale, exhale. Now bring the elbows forward. Push the elbows forward. Feel that stretch of the back of the body. As the shoulder blades pull apart from each other, you're stretching the muscles between the shoulder blades, the rhomboids. And then you push your elbows forward, really push them forward. Push them up towards the sky. Open your throat, let your head follow along. Then the elbows reach up, out, back, and down. Let's use the breath here. Bringing the elbows forward, begin your inhale, up to the sky, inhale. When you're ready to exhale, take the arms out and start going downward. Keep the teeth together, chin to chest, stretching the neck muscles, the shoulder, the chest. Inhale up, exhale down. Maybe you feel this also in your belly as you start to stretch the belly muscles. This helps with releasing tightness from sitting. We sit too much these days. Inhale up. One more. And then bring yourself back to center. If you're able to sit on your heels, sit back on your heels and rest on your heels. If that's not possible, sit crisscross position. And then close your eyes, noticing what you notice. When we stretch the body and stretch the muscles, we stretch the nerves. We create more space for communication in the body. And that is necessary for fall and fracture prevention. And then go ahead and open your eyes. So I just met with a functional MD that explained to me there's 5 top causes of death. There's blood sugar regulations, that's type 2 diabetes, heart conditions, which would be heart attacks, heart disease, and strokes. There is fractures from falls, which is one of the causes. Cancer is another cause. And then there's a 5th cause that has to do with, it's metabolic as well. Fractures being one of them, so falling and fracturing. So fracture prevention becomes something to pay attention to and focus on. And flexibility plays a big role on that, on not falling, not fracturing, or falling better, fracturing better if you are going to receive a fracture. So really important to work on this. So let's do a strength position and start to stretch the back of the body. We're going to come into a plank pose. So plank could be, this would be a traditional plank. You could come down into a forearm version, and either one of those could be modified with the feet on the floor and the shins on the floor. So we're going to come into that. So whatever you need to do to prepare and know ahead of time that you're going to choose one of those. Take your hands on the floor, really spread the palms so you're equally weighted. Now take one foot back, and I want you to bend all 5 toes. You're on the ball of your foot. Push through the heel, and push through the heel where the pinky toe edge side of your foot is. So you're not on just the first and second toe. You're really pushing back, and you feel that. Then the other foot, stretching the back of the body. This is where the plantar fascia is in the foot, the Achilles tendon around the heel, moving into the calf muscle. So starting to bring movement and space into the foot area, the ankle area. And then one more, you're going to take your foot back. Now push the kneecap up towards the sky. Try to unbend the leg as much as possible, deepening that stretch at the back of the body. And then the other side. So we're going to come into the plank. You choose whatever version you'd like. Bring yourself into plank. Spread your fingers a lot, and then look down at your hands. Push your hands into the floor. If you're in the forearm version, push the hands and the forearms into the floor and the elbows as well. And then push your hands Now bring your awareness to the right foot, bend the foot, make sure you're pushing through that whole pinky toe edge of the foot as well. Push, feel that calf stretch, push that knee up towards the sky, bring your awareness to the left side, same thing. Bending the foot, pushing through that pinky toe edge side, and then pushing the kneecap up towards the sky. So you unbend that leg. Push through both heels, push through both hands, push away from the ground, feel that power. Keep your head lifted and active, and feel the work of the front body to resist gravity pushing down on you. Take one more breath. And then bring yourself out. Come down into a rest position, kneeling or crisscross legs, close your eyes. Close your mouth, breathe in and out through your nose. And to slow down the heart rate, bring in as much oxygen as possible. Breathe as deep as you can down to your belly. Feel the belly filling up in all areas, forward, backward, side to side, top and bottom. Take one more breath. And open your eyes. Plank pose, really great front body strengthener, a lot of muscles at once. When you feel your heart rate accelerate, you know you're using a lot of muscles. So that's one of the ways you could tell that you're bringing online a lot of muscles. So let's go down on our belly and start to work on back bending, getting your spine to back bend. The back bend is what we need more of. We need more of a back bend in our lives. We want to minimize forward folding for healthy aging and maximize back bending to bring a release, to stretch the front body and to stretch the back body and to create a stronger spine. So have a blanket closer to the bottom of your mat, so not necessarily right in the middle of the mat, but a little bit lower. This is going to be where your pelvis goes. And then come onto all fours. Take your hands forward and look forward with your head. Don't let your head hang here. Then bring one elbow onto the floor and then the other, and then lower your body to the floor. Push yourself back so that your pelvis is supported by the blanket. And then come here into what's called Sphinx pose. And let's stretch the front body. These muscles get tight from sitting. And when the muscles of the belly are tight, they pull the body forward. They pull you in that forward fold position. And we need to avoid that. So make sure that your elbows are directly underneath your shoulders. This is called Sphinx posture. Elbows are underneath the shoulders. Make sure your elbows are not too wide. Then spread your hands. Push your elbows into the floor. Push your forearms into the floor. Push your palms into the floor. Now push your shoulders back, push them away from your ears, slide the shoulder blades towards each other, push the shoulder blades forward to press your heart forward and push away from the floor at the same time. You should feel a pretty strong stretch right underneath the rib cage, right in the belly area. As you push away from the floor with your arms, you push your heart forward. And then if your low back is unhappy, you could take your legs a little bit wider. And if you still need a little relief, squeeze your buttocks. Turn on the glutes to help protect that lower lumbar spine. Push your heart forward. Push away from the floor. Keep your head lifted. This is Sphinx. Breathe down to your belly. Take one more breath. And then go ahead and release. So let's come down onto the ground. Push your heart forward, lengthen your spine as you bring yourself down onto the ground. Take your elbows out to the side and put the hands one on top of each other. Walk your feet closer together so your feet are touching.
And then lengthen the back neck as you place the forehead directly on the back of one of the hands. Breathe through your belly here. Keep your mouth closed. Take an exhale. As you inhale, push away from the ground and push your torso away from the floor and lift up towards the sky. Exhale to lower. One more. Neutral neck. Now on the next one, push your nose away like you're pushing a marble away. Start to lift your head first. Start to bend your upper spine. Bending the neck first, going towards the upper spine, and then exhale to lower. Go slow. Slower is harder. Slower uses more muscles. We have 800 muscles in the body, so using more muscles than just the big ones we usually focus on. Now you're using the back muscles, the muscles that help to hold you upright and allow you to bend forward. You should feel this maybe all the way down into your belly. Last one, let's take the arms out to the side. Elbows come directly off the shoulders. Lengthen your head, let the forehead touch the ground. Exhale. As you inhale, feel like you're pushing a marble away, bending the upper spine, push the arms into the floor, open the throat, the eyes could be closed. Exhale to lower. I want you to feel what you feel here. Challenging the muscles of the back, bending your spine, creating more flexibility in your spine, in your upper back muscles, strengthening them, and then stretching the belly and the front of the body as you lift up. Last one. And then bring yourself down. Bring your hands alongside your body. So let the thumbs touch the mat. Spread your fingers off the mat and keep your elbows in at your body. Don't let your elbows go up to the sky. So keep the heel of the hand pressing in. Keep the wrist joint straight. Don't bend the wrist joint. Elbows are down alongside your body. Toes are touching. Push the toes into the floor. The knees will lift off the floor. You could squeeze the buttocks here, protecting that low back. Let the forehead touch the floor. Exhale. We're going to do cobra. On the inhale, push the hands into the floor. Pull the hands back towards the foot part of your mat as you let your nose come forward like you're pushing a marble away. Lift as high as your back muscles will pull you up, peel you away from the floor, and then slowly lower down. Close your eyes. Feel the erector muscle groups at the back of the body work. Inhale, lifting the head, activating those back muscles. Push your hands down, pull your hands back to get a little higher. Feel the muscles working when you do this. Push your heart forward, bend your spine as much as you can. On the next one, we're going to come up. We're going to hold this for 30 seconds at a minimum. Push down with your hands, pull them back. Lift the hands off the floor for a second. If your body lowered, stay in the lowered position. Push your hands down, pull your hands back. Slide the shoulder blades towards each other. Push the shoulder blades forward. Push your feet into the floor. Squeeze your tushy to protect the low back. Push the shoulders away from your ears. Push your shoulder blades forward. Keep the throat open, the chest open. Feel the back of the body working to hold you up in this back bend in the cobra. Take one more breath. Slowly bring yourself all the way out. Take your elbows to the side. Let one hand go on top of the other. Let the forehead rest. Take your legs as wide as your mat, then bend your knees and allow your feet to flop side to side to release that low back tension. Mouth closed, breathe to your belly. One more breath. And then let your legs go down.
Take one arm away from you. Come onto your side. Take your hand on the floor and push yourself up. So back bend's really important, strengthening the back of the body. The cobra, helping to turn on the back muscles and to lengthen the throat, stretch the chest, and you'll feel a lot of stretch in the belly area. As we stretch the muscles here, they get tight from sitting, and these are the muscles that pull us into that forward flexion position that we need to avoid for our spinal health. All right, go ahead and grab your block. Let's bring the right foot forward. Bring your right foot forward and then bring your pelvis forward. So make sure when you come forward with your right foot that your knee joint and ankle joint are in alignment, that you're bringing your body weight forward so you're not hanging out here with your pelvis. You've got to come forward here. That's going to stretch the front of the back hip. So the right leg is forward, so we're stretching the front of the left hip capsule. And we are strengthening the back of the right leg here. So stay here. If you could flip your toe under and lift your back knee off, that's going to bring you into a deeper stretch of the hips. We're using weight bearing now, so it's definitely a deeper stretch. This is a lunge. If you're able to bring both hands onto your right leg, try that. If that's impossible, stay where you are. You're going to start to stretch hip flexors. If you're able to bring the left arm up, bring the left arm up. And if you could bring the right arm up, bring the right arm up. A lunge is a very challenging, deep pelvic area stretch. Stretching the hips, strengthening the back of the body on one side, strengthening the back on one side, and lengthening the other side. Take one more breath. Bring both hands onto your thighs. Bring your hand onto the block as you lower your knees down. And then bring yourself back into a straight leg here in that front leg. So you could bring the block back so your fingertips are on it. The key here is that you keep your spine nice and erect. Pull the toes towards you. Keep that front leg straight. We're stretching the hamstring, which is going to be protective of the hip. And this is weight bearing, so it's a little challenging. Draw that leg deep into the socket, bending at the hip joint, keeping your spine nice and straight. You're pressing into the block that's on the ground. Press the heel into the floor. Keep your spine straight here. Take one more breath. And then let's come out. Let's go to the other side. So when we start to move away from the ground and do stretching, it's more intense when you use weight bearing to stretch. So here you're going to take the left leg forward, bring the block forward so that your torso goes forward, your pelvis moves forward. Don't stay up here. You need to move forward to get that deep stretch in the front of the right hip. Block is here. You're on your fingertips to be nice and long to make sure you're not rounding in your spine. If you are able to flip the toes under and lift that right knee off the floor, feel if that feels appropriate for you to do so. If you're able to bring the right hand onto the left leg, try that. If you're able to bring the right arm up, try that. If you're able to bring the left arm up, try that. Anywhere you are in this, go to where it's the most challenging for you. Developing strength in our body and our muscles is how we keep our bones strong. Take one more breath. Come out with both hands on your thigh. Hand on the block, lower the knee. And then bring yourself back to the hamstring stretch. You can bring the block here wherever you need it. Keep the left leg straight and flexing at the hip joint to get a little deeper, if you could go deeper with this. Weight bearing, stretching now the hamstring, the glute. Heart rate accelerates. You're using your muscles. Take one more breath. And then go ahead and bring yourself out. Rest. It may be for you that you rest in a crisscross position. If your knees are still bendable, you may be able to rest in a kneeling position. Close your eyes, close your mouth, catch your breath. And then go ahead and blink your eyes open. So we're to come to standing. I'd like to give you a couple of ways to do this. So we're going to come through a squat position and we're going to stretch our calves along the way. Calf muscle is an important muscle to keep strong and to keep limber. So take your hands really wide here. Take your knees wide and look back so you don't see your feet. So don't have your feet closer together than your knees are. Push your feet wide. Bend your toes. Push yourself back and lift your tushy in the air. Keep your hip deeply bent. And then press one heel at a time towards the ground. The bend is in your hips. Your head is forward. Don't round your spine. Push your hands so you push your weight back. And push the heels one at a time towards the ground. Feel that stretch in the calves. Then push both of them towards the ground and start to walk yourself back. Deeply bent hip, belly touching top thighs. Bring your hands on top of your thighs and bring your hands to touch. And then lift your toes off, push your weight back. So the bend is in the hips. There's also bend in the knees and the spine is nice and long. Keep that front of your spine nice and lengthened. Take one more breath. And then you're going to slowly bring yourself up. So let's clear our space, bending in your hips to move your blanket. So we're going to do standing flexibility work. It's nice to have a chair, so go ahead and get a chair if you can. You can also do this without a chair. You could do this with a wall as well. So go get a chair and let's do this standing part of the practice. So stretching our hamstrings, the hamstring attaches onto the back of the pelvis, the back of the knee. This muscle group really important for bone health and hard to stretch and often an area that's really tight. So here's a nice way to do this from a standing position. And it also allows you to then think about doing this throughout the day. So you could do this on a piece of furniture. You could do this on a chair. I'd like you to press into the chair. Walk yourself back so that you can get a bend in your hip joint, not in your spine, and keep your legs straight. So keep moving your feet back to a place where you feel as you bend one knee at a time, pushing the knee back to straighten the knee, that you feel this stretch coming into the back of the upper legs. And your gaze is forward or straight down at the ground. Don't let your head hang here. So if your gaze is down at the ground, look forward with your gaze. Push your leg back one at a time. You may feel the stretch here in your armpit, your chest. You may feel it in your spine, and then the back of the legs. Now push both legs back if you can, and feel that deep hamstring stretch as you do this deep hip flexion. Really important to learn this for bone health, to stay safe as you bend. Take one more breath. Arms are straight, legs are straight. You're bending in your hip. And then bend your knees to bring yourself forward. So let's go down into stretching. We're going to first do a standing lunge. So the standing lunge is crescent pose. And crescent pose is a pretty challenging posture. It stretches the lower body a lot, and it also adds a balance challenge. So you have to stretch, use your muscles, and work on balance here. So take the back of the chair or be near the wall. The leg that is near the chair or the wall, bring that foot forward. And bring it forward, 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 even a little more forward. And then hop the back foot back. So that as you bend that front leg, your knee does not go forward of your ankle. So make sure that doesn't happen. Make sure that as you bend your front leg, you stay in alignment of knee and ankle. And then your back foot, you're off the floor with your heel. You're pushing through the top part of your heel. Your heel, you're pushing back. Let's inhale to go lower. With an inhale, coming down into crescent. Exhale to come out. Inhale, push away from the back foot to bend the front foot. And then one more, you're going to come down and stay down. We're going to stay here. We're going to hold this. You could stay here with one arm on the chair, or you could bring both arms up. Push the front foot forward and the back foot back. Feel that front glute, the back of the body, working here. Now, your gaze. Can you add more of a back bend? Looking forward, pressing your heart forward. Push your shoulders away from your ears. Press your heart forward. Push back with the back foot, forward with the front foot. Lengthen your ribcage away from your pelvis. Bending deeper in that front leg if you can. Keeping the back leg closer towards the straight leg. Take one more breath. And then bring yourself down and bring yourself out, coming forward onto that front foot, or whatever way you come out gracefully. Noticing here the accelerated heart rate, preparing for the next side, crescent pose. Take the front foot pretty far forward and the back foot back. Bending the back toes, keeping that heel off the floor. And then make sure that when you come forward and you come down, that the alignment of your knee is over the ankle or behind the ankle and not in front of the ankle. That actually starts to do damage on the tendons of the quadricep muscles right over the kneecap. It's not good for your knee. All right, let's go down. Inhale. Inhale. And on the next one, we're going to stay down and hold. Push away from the back foot. Come down into the crescent. If you can, lift your arms off, both of them. Pushing the shoulders away from the ears, sliding the shoulder blades towards each other. Pressing the shoulder blades forward, adding a back bend in the upper body if that's appropriate for your body. Balance, strength, flexibility in this posture. Challenging standing posture, crescent pose. You can even let your gaze go up to the sky if that's available to you. Take one more breath. And then bring yourself out in whatever way. You could also turn forward and come into a wide-legged stretch. That might actually be a little bit easier to dismount. So once we go into a lengthened position, make sure you're safe when you come out of that. So I like to do triangle pose, and I want to be instructional on this. I teach live classes. I see 100 people in movement throughout the week, and I've seen thousands throughout my teaching career as a yoga therapist. And what I noticed in the triangle is people start to bend their waist and not their hip joint. So let's focus on doing triangle safe. I would like it if you had a chair. If you don't have a chair, then we'll do this with your leg without using the chair. I want you to get to the place where you bend your hip and not your spine. So come into a wide position. If you're going to do this with me right now, We're gonna go to the left side, so take your chair over to the left side. Starting with a very wide stance. You wanna be really wide here with your legs. And then to come into this, keep your legs straight, lift the left toes off the floor, and turn this leg in one unit to the left. Don't hop your way into this, but rather find it in the hip joint as you press your left foot forward. And then pick the right foot up and the right heel up and move the right heel away. So when we do the triangle, we're bending here in the hip, not in the spine. So the space here between the lower left ribs and the top of the left pelvis, you're gonna keep this space the whole time. You're not gonna let it get shorter as you bend your waist. So pay attention to this, it's really important. So push away from the left foot, push your pelvis to the right. Feel that action in your body as you push away and bend that left hip. Take your shoulders forward, up, back, and down, and take your hand on your left leg, keep your arms straight and push the heel of the hand into the leg as you go down. Keep that space in between your left lower ribs and your left top pelvis. Notice where you go. Do not try to go down lower with your upper body. We want this to be lower body that moves. So you could keep your hand there, or if you have a seat, you could keep your hand on the seat of the chair, or you could keep your hand on the back of the chair. Take your right arm up in the air, push your right foot away, push your left foot away from each other. And then push your pelvis away, lengthen your spine and rotate your heart up towards the sky. Squeeze your buttocks so you minimize that low back curve. Your body should be between two sheets of glass. Don't let your tushy stick out behind you and your chest in front of you to try to get lower. Stay lateral. This is a lateral position. The stretch will be experienced in the back of the front leg. You may also feel it elsewhere. There's a lot of stretch happening in the adductors, hamstrings, particularly for some. So just notice what you notice here. Take one more breath. And then push your feet into the floor. Go slow. Use your core muscles to bring yourself up and to bring yourself out. And then let's go to the other side. So try to practice this nice and slow and with awareness. And then if you have that practice where you're able to do it without the props, you could do that. But let's really refine this so that we actually intentionally stretch and pull on what we're trying to pull on. We're trying to pull on the pelvis here, create flexibility and range of motion so you don't fracture your hip when you fall. That's what we're doing here. We're creating more space, more reactivity to the pelvic, the hip complex. Take your legs long. Now we're going to the right. So pick up the right toes, turn the right foot away, and turn the left heel away. The bend now is going to happen in the right hip. Maybe you have a different range of motion on this side. So take the right hand on the top of your thigh. As you push the pelvis to the left, keep that right arm straight. Come down to where you feel enough stretch in your body. Bring the left hand up. Your hand could be in the back of the chair, it could be on the seat. Push away to get long, to bend the hip as much as possible. Push the tushy forward, chest back. Be between two sheets of glass. Squeeze your tushy and pull your tailbone down to the back inner edge of the heel. Lengthen your spine, bend your hip, keep the right lower ribs far away from the right top pelvis. So keep that space. Don't bend your waist. Keep your spine nice and long. Lengthen the spine, turn it up towards the sky. Squeeze your buttocks to protect your low back. Be between two sheets of glass. Take one more breath. Push your feet into the floor, come up really slow, using your trunk muscles to bring yourself all the way up. And then bring yourself into Tadasana, noticing what you notice. All right, so we're gonna come down into Shavasana. And a little stretch before we do. So make sure that you have your blanket, your block, and your strap. And then we'll come down onto the ground. So come down onto the ground, bring yourself all the way down onto the ground, and then you're gonna grab your strap. Let's stretch the back of the body and settle the low back, settle the body. So take the strap in both arches around the strap. Separate your feet a little bit wider than body distance. Push the heels up towards the sky, pull the toes towards you. Keep the legs straight if you can, and then pull your legs back. Walk your hands up as close to your feet as you can get them, strengthening your hands while we are at it. Lift your head, lengthen your neck. Push your tailbone down into the ground and pull your legs back. Stretch the backs of your legs. Feel that stretch. Maybe it goes all the way to the glutes. Push the kneecaps away from you to try to straighten those legs. As you pull the legs back towards the back wall, walk your hands as close as you can get them to your feet with straight legs. Pull the legs back, push your tailbone down. Feel that stretch behind your back body. The legs, maybe the glutes, the back of your body. Take one more breath. And then go ahead and release, let go. Let's take the strap off, bring the strap onto the ground. Draw your knees into your chest and rock side to side. So we're going to come into Shavasana. Take your legs nice and long and wide. Then take your block, bring your block onto your belly. And during the Shavasana, arms to the side, breathe to the belly, feel the block gently moving with breath. Relax, let go. Let the integration of whatever you just did today to find a new memory, a new home, a new space.
Gently begin to deepen your breath. And if you have a block on your belly, take the block off. Start to move your body so that you could eventually bring one knee at a time into your chest, pulling the knees in and rocking side to side. And then from here, going onto your side, and from here, pushing yourself all the way up. So we're going to close the practice with sound, a gentle humming sound. So bring yourself into a seated position, sit nice and tall, take your hands together, place the hands together at the heart, push the shoulders away from the ears, sitting nice and tall in your spine. We'll do a gentle humming sound, noticing that sound traveling from your heart to your throat. Take an exhale to create space. Inhale deeply. We bow in gratitude. So flexibility is an important part of bone health, an area we don't focus on as much. When we do the standing postures in yoga, we're adding weight bearing, whether we're kneeling or lunging, or then when we stand, it's even more. So practice to increase flexibility and range of motion in your joints so you'll move more, have less pain, and be more receptive if you do fall so that you don't fracture. All right, so is the person here that was here at the beginning, I'd like to hear from you if you are. Okay, Marlene, hi, nice to see that you're here. Hope that was good for you. And then the other person that was here, are you still here? I'd like to hear how that was for you. All right. Anyone watching this, if you like what you're seeing here and you want more, visit my website, debbierobinson.com. I have courses that focus on yoga therapy for bone health, and there's a lot about gut health and what to eat to feed your beautiful bones. So visit my website if you want more information, and you can do so much for your bone health naturally. And I will share all of that with you. So thanks for practicing with me.